Hey everyone, welcome to Soulful Fridays. This is our first Soulful Friday. I am beyond excited to be able to communicate with you every Friday about a topic, regardless of what it is. I know that sometimes people kind of skate over certain topics or kind of put a little sugar on top of things because they really don't want to get too deep. You know, some people don't want to get too deep because when you get deep, then you start ruffling some things up in your spirit, and then you can't do nothing but to change because now you know the truth. And so I am one of those people who like to do things out of the box, obviously. So today we are talking about being stuck. I know that we all can relate to this, being stuck, and it's not a good feeling, but it is very, very, very needed, whether we like it or not. And sometimes being stuck causes pain, causes stress and frustration, but a lot of times that's because we be dragging our feet. We really ain't trying to be stuck anyway. We really not trying to deal with anything that causes us to slow down and actually go through a process. And whether we realize or not, life in itself is a process, continuously, moment by moment, day by day. So again, we're going to talk about being stuck. And so I'm going to give you three ways how you and I can become stuck. The first way is that we can become stuck because of other people. And honestly, I'm sure I'm not the only one who has experienced this, that sometimes you are literally born into situations. You are literally, whether it be family or friends, but I'm speaking in like a family type of aspect. You could be born into a family generation of being stuck. You know, you had that grandmother, the auntie that really never did nothing with their life. You know what I'm saying? And then you start to notice a trend that you have 2-3 people in your family that has never went to college or never has been motivated enough to get more than just a 9-to-5 job. Nobody has a career, but everybody is just stuck in this one area of their life. And it tends to be, you can see the pattern, you know what I'm saying, that goes from generation to generational. Is it fair? No. We can't really stop what we're born into, but we can change it. The second way is that we get ourselves stuck by our choices. We can choose to be stuck literally by our choices. For example, dating that person that you already know you should not be with. See, there's a difference between needing and wanting. You can want to be with a person, but the key word is, do you need to be with that person? We never look at the need part. We always look about what our heart wants, what we want. We see that individual and we like, listen, they make me smile. They make me happy. They make me feel so bubbly on the inside, if you will. But then you get with that person and you notice that everything you did before that you met with them, you're not doing anymore. Your emotions are feeling some type of way. Your thought process has changed. And then now you start seeing things in your life slow down. So now you're just going through the motions of life. And I'm using an example for a relationship because that's just the first thing that came to my mind. But it's real when you can get stuck by a choice that you decide to make that you really didn't think through. And ultimately, the third way to get stuck is, again, I wouldn't necessarily say decision, but you literally choose this. You know already, you're like, okay, I'm done. And a lot of times that comes from depression. That comes from a lot of trauma that we may have had in our life. And we have just decided that this is it. We're done. I don't want to move forward. And I'm sure that at some point in our life, we all will go through that. You know, whether experience loss of some type, whether it's a loss of a job or loss of a relationship, or just losing ourselves. You know, trauma in our life happens where we lose us. And then we become stuck because we begin to wallow in feelings and everything that's in here So now before you know it, we look up and it's like, oh my gosh, 6, 12 months passed by. I really haven't did nothing with myself. I'm not taking care of myself. I'm really just not me. And now I'm stuck in these emotions. I'm stuck in this area of my life and I don't know how to get out. And then, we just tend to spiral out of control. And oh, here comes little depression comes through and be like, hey, let's be best friends. Let's chill. Let me move in. Let me get my things and let's move into your house. And then we can just be buddies. No, we don't want to be buddies with depression. We don't want to be buddies with anything that comes along with being stuck. What we need to do is, when it comes to us being stuck, again, like I said in the beginning of the video, being stuck is not always a bad thing. A lot of times God will put you in a situation of stagnation for you to understand and visualize what it is that he's trying to show you. Because, the bustle of the day, we're going, but we really not paying attention. We're really not taking into account. We're really not using the discernment that God has given us to understand each and every choice. We're not seeking God with each and every choice that we make. We're really not just slowing down. We're just literally just going. And then by the time we realize, oh, snap, I really should have took this into account, then we begin to be stuck. The good news is you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay to be stuck. The feeling of stuck, some of you could have been stuck for years or months or even days. It varies. Like I said, it's a process. But the good news is you don't have to be stuck. So for those of you who are watching this, who feel like, you know what, I am stuck and I've been going through this and I've been fighting with myself. I've been fighting with other people because they telling me I gotta be stuck, but they don't really know what I'm going through. You're right. At some point, we don't know what you're going through, but we know that it is a possibility, a huge 99% possibility that you can become unstuck. Why? Because other people have become unstuck. You see what I'm saying? Not all hope is lost. So I encourage the people who are feeling stuck right now. It could be a small smidget of feeling stagnated. If you do not take into consideration what it is right now, it will become this huge ball of stagnation that will continue to grow and grow and grow. And we are not in the season of stagnation. God has called us to have more and to live more. So definitely we're going to talk about this today. So some people might think that they deserve to be stuck again, from choices and decisions that they have made. But I've been there, and no, you don't deserve to be stuck. I think that you need to take the lesson out of what caused you to be stuck. I think you need to take the lesson out of that, but I don't think that you deserve to be stuck. Not at all. No one deserves to be stuck. Again, the word of God says that he came to give us life and life abundantly. That means it's more than enough. And we can't have that if we're just sitting in one place and we're not doing what God has called us to do. We're not feeling that unspeakable joy that only God can give us. We're not doing things how he has created us to be. He didn't call for us to be like that. So don't ever think that you need to be stuck because of a choice that you made or, that you deserve it. Because we never deserve anything that happens in our life most times. But it always going to work out for our good, So the most important thing in discovering when you're stuck is to acknowledge that you are stuck. A lot of times we don't want to acknowledge that we're stuck. Pride comes in and then we be like, oh, I ain't stuck. I got it. Your homegirl come and say, listen, let me help you out. I know that you ain't clean your house up in a minute. I know you're feeling this type of way. You done lost your job. You're really not motivated to get out and look for another one. Let me come help you out. Let me get you some job leads, for example. And you're like, no, I got it. But then, when that person leaves, you really sitting at home wallowing in your emotions like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I ain't realized that it's been 6 months since I worked and I ain't had no motivation to go out and look for no job. You know what I'm saying? These type of things. Pride will really stand in the way of you getting unstuck. So like I said, the most important thing is to realize that you are stuck. And acknowledge what could have caused you to become stuck. So this part, it calls you to have accountability of what happened, what was your role, and why it happened. You have to understand that we all play a part in every decision that we may have made. Even if someone has placed us in this decision, even after the decision has been made, it is up to us and how we respond that makes the difference. So again, take ownership of whatever responsibility that you had in this role of becoming stuck in a situation or an environment. And so when you take ownership and say, okay, this is what I did to cause myself to become stuck. I forgive me for doing that. I forgive the person who got me stuck or whatever that I allowed to get me stuck. It opens the door for clarity and understanding. And it also opens this door for a solution. And that's what we need in this season. We need solutions. We need solutions to problems and not just problems itself. So continue to acknowledge where you are, how you got there, and what was your role. So that way, the door of opportunity of being clear and solutions can come, and we can figure this thing out of why and how we got to where we are right now. So I'm going to give you I'll give you 4 ways how to get unstuck and motivated. The first one is take a risk. Okay. I know it sounds all simple for the people who are so stuck into their comfort zone. Taking a risk is like someone telling you to literally walk in front of a speeding car. I get it. I've been there. But the way to get yourself unstuck, the first way anyways, is take a risk. So if there's something that you wanted to do that you haven't done, it is time in this season to step out on faith and say, okay, let me try it. Let me see how this goes. Let me see what this can produce. And sometimes when you're trying new things that you're not used to trying, it will give you a sense of newness, which will ignite your motivation to be like, okay, I love that experience. Let me try something else. Let me try something that is going to continue to give me that feeling. Okay. Number 2 is let go of the past. This is huge. Let go of the past. This is literally probably one of the number 1 reasons why people become stuck is because they're continuously carrying around baggage from things that have happened 10 to 15 years ago. Now, sometimes it may be intentional and sometimes it may not be intentional. But what people don't realize is that it takes a lot of energy to hold and grasp onto things than to let it go. I know myself, I have held on to things for years because it was normal. It was normal to me to stuff it down and stuff it with materialistic things, stuff it with relationships, stuff it with food. And in my mind, I call myself healed. I'm delivered from this stuff. I'm good. But then here I am stuck in a situation, not knowing that the root issue is because I either didn't let go of something or I didn't forgive something or somebody or a situation, which has caused me to be stuck. So let go of any situation that you may have played a role in, whether it was you, whether it's somebody else who did something to you, even childhood memories, childhood situations that you may have went through. It is time in this season of your life to allow God to bring those things to the surface and be able to deal with them. So therefore, those things will not continue to have roots in your life and continue to open doors for other things that keep you stagnated, like rejection, discouragement. Those type of things will start to come in when you are constantly holding on to things from your past. And honestly, sometimes the simplest thing is looking yourself in the mirror and say, I forgive me. And it is hard. I've been there. It's hard to look yourself in the face and know that the choices and the decisions that you have made that probably caused you to be here where you are right now in this stagnated process. It's hard to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I forgive me. I know that it was part of the reason why I'm here is part of the reason of what I did and what I chose to do and how I thought about myself. But right now, I'm over it. I'm trying to get over it. I forgive me. It's okay. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to look at yourself and say, I forgive me. Even if nobody else forgives you, it is important for you to release yourself from things that you have done in your past. It is important to forgive you because at the end of the day, you are living with you. Yeah, you might have somebody in the household with you. You may have your children with you in your household, but ultimately you living with you. When you at night and you can't sleep and them thoughts rolling through your mind, nobody experiences those things but you. But it's time out from holding on to a past that's keeping us stagnate in certain areas of our lives, not able to deal with certain people because of certain experiences that we holding on in our spirit that relates to other things. So now we're just so clammed up, and God said, okay, I have this opportunity for you. Let's go over here and do this. But you like, okay, wait a minute, Lord. I can't really do it because you know what, this person reminds me of this person, or this situation reminds me of this situation. And so now you have an opportunity that you really want to do, but emotionally you are stuck because you didn't allow God to heal you in the beginning, during, and after the process of whatever happened to you. It's crazy. We never realize how things quickly get rooted in our life when we don't deal with them. So also giving yourself excuses. Let me say that again. Giving yourself excuses of why you can't do something will keep you stuck. So I encourage you on today, whatever excuses that you have told yourself or you allow other people to tell you, it is time to let those things go. It is time to let those things go. Stop telling yourself that you can't do it. Stop telling yourself that you ain't never did it before. Stop telling yourself that it's impossible. I guarantee you it is possible. Will it hurt? Will it take time? For sure. Absolutely. Anything worth having is going to you got to put some work into it, but it's going to be worth it in the end. The thing is, you got to get started. You got to take a step. The word of God says, if you take one, I take two. So all God is looking for is you to take one step. That's even if that said, okay, Lord, I admit I need help, then He going to take those next two steps. The third thing is to change your relationship with being stuck. And what do I mean by that? That means your perspective. So how you see in the situation that you're in right now, change your perspective. Because a lot of times we will look at being stuck as, oh my God, this is the end of the world. I'm never going to get up out of this. Everything is always going to be like this. Stuff is always going to be like this. This is just who I am. No, that's not true. I'm going to need you to cut it because that's not who you are and that's not true. Change your perspective of what you're seeing in your situation right now. And see, when you change your perspective of what you're seeing right now, things will begin to flow differently in your emotions and in your mind and in your environment. Like Mahatma Gandhi says, be the change you wish to see in your situation. Be that change. So when you change your perspective, then you begin to see things differently. Okay, I'm stuck. Okay, Lord, I'm stuck in this situation. I ain't got no money right now. I haven't had a job in 6 months. But what is this lesson that you're trying to teach me? Okay, Lord, for example, you're trying to teach me patience. You're trying to teach me on how to completely trust and lean on you. But the only way I would ever be able to do that is if you put me in a situation where I had no choice. Now think of it this way, for using this example, if you had a job and you had everything you needed, but God has you in that season of trusting Him, then how would that happen if you have everything you need? You get what I'm saying? So, change your perspective of how you're looking at each and everything that you're going through. And lastly, ask yourself, is there something in me that I'm ignoring? Because, ignoring situations is not deliverance. Out of sight, out of mind does not work. Have you ever been dating a person that y'all, or been friends with someone that you no longer talk to, and you're like, all right, I ain't really seen them, so I'm cool. It ain't really bothered. But then you be in the store and you see that person and you be like, oh my goodness, and then you just get to feeling some way, your heart get to feeling some type of way. Exactly. So ignoring a situation or something that has caused you to become stuck is not helping the process. It's actually becoming more of a hindrance. It's almost like it's digging you deeper into what you're already going through right now. So don't ignore anything that's within you. If God is bringing things to the surface and say, hey, I need you to work on this, then don't ignore it, because obviously it's been brought to the surface for a reason. Often things present themselves in our life to avoid situations. So, okay, this situation presented in our life and you want to avoid this situation, but a lot of times it's presented itself so it cannot be avoided. Don't avoid it. Don't avoid it. Get straight to what it is that you need to do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times in our life, we got to literally live 100%, 100 proof is what I meant to say. 100 proof with no chaser. What do I mean by that? For those of you who used to drink in their past lives, I know I used to, but when you drink something that's 100 proof with no chaser, you get the full effect of something. You get the full effect of that alcohol. It's the same thing with each and every situation that you go through with being stuck. When you get the full effect of the situation, not only do you begin to understand, like, okay, I understand each step of why I got stuck, then you have a concrete solution that's going to come in, that's going to help you from being stuck in the past. But if you put sugar on top of it and then you just kind of coddle it, like, okay, this is why I'm stuck, let me try to work it this way. Next thing you know, that thing snaps back, and then this 6 months later, now you more stuck than you was before because you really didn't deal with the situation like you should have. So I encourage everyone today to take hold of these keys that I've given you about getting unstuck. Try something new this weekend. Take a risk. Stop ignoring situations in your life that has been sitting there, that is causing you to be stuck. Change your perspective on the situation you're going through right now. You are not your situation. It is temporary. Like that saying go, when God say build a tent, don't build a house where you are right now. I ask that you continue to be blessed. This is our Soulful Friday.